Hey there, and welcome to Darkness Dissected and another supernatural episode. My name is Suzanne, and today we journey to the UK to discuss a house that was never really a house. The name of this property is the Woodchester Mansion. Now, all over the world, there are tales of haunted places. It might be a forest, a road, a personal item, or maybe even a house. Now, the entrance to the property is very grand, with a sweeping long driveway and fantastic views of the surrounding landscape. As you look upon the mansion, you notice the turrets and towers and the watchful eyes of the gargoyles glaring at you from above, almost as if they're judging you. It is described as being gothic in appearance, but with a creepy vibe. Even before the owner of Woodchester Mansion took over the land, there were rumours of ghostly hauntings. The estate at the time was then called Spring Park and was owned by the Ducey family. Now, it is stated that on one particular evening of celebration, the second Earl of Ducey decided to throw an extravagant dinner to celebrate his succession to earldom in the year 1840. As he approached his seat at the top of the table, he noticed that it was already occupied by the ghostly figure of his late father. From that evening on, the Earl was so terrified by the vision of his dead father that he never returned to the property. Now, personally, I can say that if it had been me in his position, I'd have run away too. What would you guys have done? Would you have stayed? So this explains why it became available for our next owner. Construction on Woodchester Mansion started in the 1850s by a William Leigh. William was born in 1802 in Liverpool. Around the year 1844, he had decided to convert his religion to Roman Catholicism and start with a new community in Gloucestershire. He came across the property, Spring Park, but instead of moving in and renovating it, it seems he chose to tear the building down. Apparently, William wanted to build a property that would stand as a testament to his newfound faith. At first, he approached a gentleman named Augustus Pugin, who had designed many grand buildings in the day, one of these being the Houses of Parliament in London. Sadly, with William's strong views on how things should be done and the worldwide monster that is called money, they never seemed to see eye to eye. Feeling some frustration, I'm pretty sure, he finally came across a young 21-year-old architect named Benjamin Bucknall. Now, before Benjamin got involved, two buildings on the estate were built already by William. They were a church and a monastery. With the mansion itself, it seems that he wanted a professional involved, but still wanted to have the final say in everything, and that what he said was law. He was described as a bit of a perfectionist. For 16 years, the property was worked on by builders and other craftsmen, but then in 1868, they dropped tools, never to return. They also gave no clear indication as to why they were refusing to work anymore on the mansion. Now, some believe that a murder happened on the estate, while others state that it was due to the ghosts and other creepy goings-on that made the men run in fear. Whatever the reason, work ceased. In 1873, the son of William decided to take over the home after his father's death. Now, after receiving two quotes from Benjamin, one to finish off the work and another to demolish the building entirely, it was deemed that both were way too expensive. So instead, the property was left in its current state. In 1894, a visit by Cardinal Vaughan, who was the Roman Catholic Archbishop of Westminster, was scheduled to visit the mansion. This meant that one room had to be completed for his stay. This is the only room finished in the building. Then, in 1902, a sighting was reported by a local vicar of a phantom horseman being seen on the driveway to the property. Now, I can only imagine how seeing this must have made a man of the cloth feel, well, all kinds of things. Also, while World War II was going on, it is said that American and Canadian troops set up their camp in a pasture opposite the house. They apparently used the mansion's cellar as a place to store all of their equipment. While the soldiers were staying on the land, they used the lakes in Woodchester Park to train for D-Day landings. Now, during one particular exercise, A bridge which stood over the lake collapsed, and several of the soldiers were sadly reported as being drowned. Their bodies were then taken back to the mansion. Mediums who have visited the property over the years have described feeling the presence of men in military uniforms, and also the creepy sounds of music that appears to be from the 1940s whispering its way down the corridors. Now, Woodchester Mansion has been featured on many paranormal shows over the years, including Most Haunted Live, Hauntings, Scariest Places on Earth, and also Ghost Hunters International. Not surprising when you consider what we've talked about so far, but that is just scratching the surface of the ghosts and apparitions that have been seen over the years. So, dissectors, let's take a deeper look into those, shall we? There are reported bangs and knockings heard in the buildings, as well as poltergeist activity, with stones being thrown apparently from nowhere. A young girl has been seen by many visitors too, skipping playfully up and down the grand staircase. It is said that she seems oblivious to the visitors watching her as she plays in her moment in time. On the first floor of the mansion, a woman can be seen and heard. It is also said that she can be seen watching the comings and goings of visitors from a window on the first floor. Well, I guess if you were going for the ghosts, this site would be something you'd want to see. If, on the other hand, you were visiting out of a love for history, seeing a woman watching you, well, that might be enough to stop you in your tracks. Would you still go inside the mansion if it was you? In the chapel, there has been mention of the smell of freshly blown out candles, where no candles have been recently lit. Others have seen a short man standing in the entranceway of the chapel, looking concerned as he stares up at the windows. It is felt that he might be a stonemason who had been working on the mansion, and that the concern is over the water damage the chapel has received from years of neglect. It is also thought that he might be the cause of the stones which are thrown. In the kitchen of the mansion, a female voice can be heard singing, while a young man is also seen crouching in the corner of the room as if hiding from someone. Interestingly, a tall man has also been seen in the doorway leaning into the kitchen as if he's searching for someone. Could he be looking for the young crouching man? They're never seen at exactly the same time though, so it seems that the young man is never caught, which is lucky considering the fact that there aren't really many places to hide. Women have reported being attacked by an old vicious woman who uses the dark as a place to hide and then grab at them. A floating head has also been seen by many visitors to the mansion in the bathroom. I can imagine that if you were feeling constipated, that feeling would very quickly disappear. A hooded apparition is said to have been caught on CCTV by a local group of paranormal researchers who spent the night also. There are reports that some visitors to the property have collapsed and been attacked by ghosts over the years. This is a building that demands respect from its visitors. Lastly, even the caretaker has reported activity, saying that his dog senses the spirits inside the property. Once he said that he even noticed his pup sitting on the sofa and wagging its tail, looking at someone who he himself couldn't see. Even more spooky is the fact that the dog interacted with the invisible guest by seemingly licking them. The caretaker said he saw his dog licking thin air and its tongue seemed to come into contact with something too. Strange as hell for sure. Animals are known for seeing and hearing things that we simply aren't able to. When entering Woodchester Mansion, it is like stepping into a time warp, into a mid-19th century building site. The building is complete from the outside, but floors, plaster and even whole rooms are missing inside. There are tools still scattered across the floor, waiting patiently to be used again by the long dead craftsmen. Ladders are still propped against walls and doors lead to nowhere. There are also fireplaces suspended in mid-air, with upstairs corridors ending abruptly to perilous drops. People are drawn to this wonderful property, and recently Netflix used the exterior as a location for their series, The Crown. It was used for the late Duke of Edinburgh and Prince Charles's school, Gordonstown. The Woodchester Mansion Trust has in recent years taken to restoring the property, which is wonderful to hear. This kind of history should be protected, and it keeps a home over the heads of our dead residents too. If you are interested in visiting this beautiful Gothic property, it is open for public tours, special events and filming. You can visit it between the months of April and October. If this is something of interest to you, you can check out their website, which is woodchestermansion.org.uk. Thank you for joining me today. Did Woodchester Mansion give you creepy vibes too? It is certainly an impressive property with so much history and intrigue attached to it. Maybe you have visited a similar place. If so, I would love to hear it about in the comments. Please don't forget to like this video and subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on other episodes of Darkness. Until next time, my fellow dissectors, stay safe out there. Bye for now.